When we always talk about the Astros, we always talk about their offense and how good it used to be. From 2017 to 2019, they're always one of the top 5 offensively driven units in the league. But in 2022, a lot of their offensive numbers were down, everything from team hits to team batting average. And so the bullpen and starting rotation had to pick up a lot of the slack that the offense was missing. And obviously, all that great pitching culminated in a World Series title for them. But the one thing I don't see a lot of people ever talk about is how the Astros learned from their mistakes and failures and made the necessary corrections and adjustments to their bullpen in order to win that World Series title in 2022. When you go back in 2019 and you look at that team, they had great starting pitching and a great offense. From Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander to Zach Greinke, it was a stout and stacked starting rotation. But where they lacked and fell short was in the bullpen. They honestly only had 1 to 2 reliable arms in that bullpen in Chris Davinsky and Ryan Presley. And we see where that landed them in Game 7 of the World Series whenever that bullpen gave up 5 runs in 3 innings. Fast forward to 2021. The Astros yet again have the best overall offense in all of baseball. They were number 1 in most statistical categories that you could measure an offense by, from hits to team average. And that culminated in them winning only 2 games in the World Series against that Atlanta Braves squad. Now, yes, the Astros were shorthanded, only having a 3-man rotation going into that series, but so did the Braves. But the difference is the Braves had a better bullpen than the Astros did, and it was deep. The Braves had at least 3 to 4 wipeout arms in that pen that they could call upon any time to get them out of tough and tricky situations in the postseason and regular season. And that culminated in them winning a title. So what did we see in 2022 from the Astros that made them learn from their mistakes from 19 and 21? Well, they put the missing pieces in their bullpen together. They already had Ryan Presley, who we know has the most spin rotation out of any closer in baseball. They already had the flamethrowing Ryan Stanek, who throws high velo. Side note, what's kind of funny is we actually didn't use Ryan Stanek at all in the World Series. And the Astros also had Mr. 1 Brian Abreu. A lot of fans over the years lost faith in him. But somewhere along the way, the Astros must have saw something in him in spring training which signaled to them he was ready for the bigs finally. And then from there, we saw what they did in the offseason. They brought in Rafael Montero, who had a lot of question marks around him after some serious shoulder and elbow injuries. And they also signed Hector Neris, ironically, who was a Philly prior to that. And what this did was this gave the Astros length and depth in that pen. And not just only that, but it also gave them 4 wipeout filthy arms that they could call upon any time to get them out of any tough situations and jams. And what happened to the Astros in 2 previous World Series happened to the Phillies. Sure, the Phillies have a couple of good arms in their bullpen at the time with Sir Anthony Dominguez and Jose Alvarado, but 2 guys just aren't enough reliably to get you through a World Series nowadays. And so like we so often do see in sports, the Phillies copied the Astros. The Phillies went out and they got themselves a Gregory Soto, an all-star from the Tigers. They went out and, although I don't necessarily agree with it, they went out and got themselves a Craig Kimbrell. And they signed a couple of good arms in the offseason. And this is what great teams and organizations do. They learn from their mistakes. They look around and they self-assess and they say, oh, look, this team did this and that's how they got over the hump. Here's how we need to do this. And it just so happened that the Phillies were looking up at the Astros and they saw what the Astros did and they said, okay, let me one-up you. This is nothing new. Teams have been doing this for decades in all of sports. They copy each other and the formula that that other team uses for winning and they make it their own until it doesn't work anymore. And right now, I think the Astros have made the perfect formula for winning titles. It all starts with a filthy, disgusting bullpen. It starts with a bullpen that has not only length and depth, but at least 4 wipeout, filthy guys with elite stuff. Notice I said start, because you still have to have depth in starting pitching, along with the offensive talent, in order to put up the runs needed to stay in these games, in these long, long series. But that's the beauty of baseball, and that's the beauty of sports. No one stays at the top forever, and no one stays at the bottom forever. People copy each other. Anyways, guys, I would love to know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? And before I go, I just want to say one thing really quickly. Thank you all for 6K subs. We are so close to it right now. And to show my appreciation, I want to go and do something for y'all. I am giving away a pair of Astro tickets for opening weekend this Sunday. I'm doing the drawing. If you would like to be entered in that drawing, just leave a comment down in the comment section down below with your name saying enter me. And I will gladly put you on that list. And I will announce the winner on Sunday. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching the video. Don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel if you are new, because I have plenty more baseball content like this, and I'll see you all in the next one. Adios, mis amigos.